What's up, guys? Welcome to another one of our hemp generation videos on how we grow our plants. Today we're going to be preparing a compost tea brew, which we'll be using a plethora of different ingredients which we have studied on microbeorganics.com. You guys should check it out. There's tons of recipes, instructions, and very worthwhile information on that site. Now we're going to start today by measuring out very particularly our vermicompost, and now we're making 200 gallons of water in our compost tea brew today with well water, so no worries about chlorine. So just to kind of be doubly sure of exactly what we're doing, we bought ourselves an oxygen meter to see exactly how many parts per million or milligrams per liter of oxygen there is dissolved in the water. According to our nice handy reference tool, microbeorganics.com, we want our dissolved oxygen levels to be at about 6 parts per million or 6 milligrams per liter. We want to sustain that throughout the entire compost tea brew. In this case, today's brew, we're going to be brewing it for about 36 to 48 hours for a nice, diverse, activated compost tea. Our brew has been going on all night. And so right now we're getting a reading from our cup that's been sitting out. It's climbing. Maybe almost 20 parts per million, super oxygenated water. This is great. And this hasn't even been brewed. But we also have to consider that our microbes have yet to consume any of this oxygen, so throughout the brew is what's important. Let's see what our tank here is looking like. Oh, pretty much the same. We're kind of capping out at 20 milligrams per liter. 19, 20. So it seems like we can kind of sustain that with our current air pump system and with the environment. All right, so we're going to start off with about 2.4% compost, preferably vermicompost. We do like to mix in a little bit of bokashi into our compost to give it a nice little variety. So if I ask Siri here, because she's my handy tool, 2.4% of 200 gallons in milliliters.
Some information.
So we got 18 liters of compost, ideally vermicompost, so we're just gonna fill it up with 18 liters and occasionally throw in a handful of our bokashi there. 5 more liters of vermicompost after this. Woo! It'll splash back on your face sometimes. You never go too heavy in the vermicompost in my experience. You can exceed the 2.4%, but you know, 2.4% is the bare minimum needed. If your vermicompost is low, as it can be a little pricey, so we're, instead of extra 5, we're gonna add an extra 6 liters in here. And then as well as a generous 2-handed scoop of bokashi. We'll do that 2 times here, since we are doing a 200 gallon brew. You know what, on a whim, let's go 3. All right, so now we're going to pour in our liquid fish at a rate of about 0.063% for the volume of water. So 0.063% of 200 gallons in milliliters. 477 milliliters. It's close to about half a liter. 477 is just that bottom layer here. Right under the 500. Boom, more or less. Now this is considered a food stock for the microbes. The microbes will eat up the fish hydrolysate as a form of nutrients to multiply. And our next ingredient is going to be molasses as the next food stock. Now this one we like to add it at a rate of about 0.5 to 0.6% per volume, so 0.55% of 200 gallons in milliliters. So about 4.2 liters or so. So we're gonna pop this off. Oh, molasses. 4.2 liters. That's almost the whole bucket here. splash for good luck. Wipe off the rim. Back on with the lid. Gotta slosh it around a little bit to make sure it gets nice and dissolved. This is our recycler, and then we have another PVC system with just holes in it to deliver air. So the recycler helps bring all the compost and everything back around to the top like you see here. While this just helps oxygenate and aerate the water to make sure that we primarily have aerobic bacteria. It'll be interesting to observe what our oxygen levels are going to be looking like at day 1. The goal is to go to 48 hours, so about 9:30 in the morning or so, 2 days from now, we'll be applying this to our plants. We're going to do mineralized phosphate powder, 0.063% of 200 gallons in milliliters. 477 again of mineralized phosphate rock powder. Where's the line at? I can't even see it all dusty. You gotta get 477 approximately. I can't even tell. Looks like we're still above that 500 mark. Holy crap, this stuff is dense. That's about it right there, I think. Water hit it so it doesn't dust off. All right, and then now we're going to be applying almost one of the most important ingredients here is our kelp. We're going to use this at a rate of about 0.25%. According to microbeorganics.com, less is more because kelp can actually initially delay the reproduction of, microbial activity. So let's only add 0.25%. Sometimes I do 0.23 just to be safe. 0.23% of 200 gallons in milliliters.
Okay.
About 1.7 liters. About it right there. And that's it for our compost tea brew today, guys. We're gonna check back in 24 to 48 hours to see what the biology is looking like and our dissolved oxygen levels.